Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Big Wavy Roy Johnson here.
Hello everyone, this is the interview queen Alicia too.
This is the infamous Cameron Solis.
This is the professional Nathan Cruz.
This is Veggie.
This is the Callahan Death Machine in the draw, and the face of Impact Wrestling, Sammy Callahan.
The one and only chocolate under Willie Mack.
This is Shreddy Breck, aka Mr. Clangin' and Bangin'.
And you're listening to...
You are listening to...
Broken but Glorious.
Broken but Glorious.
Broken but glorious. Hey, yeah.
Hello, welcome to Turnchuckle on bbgwrestling.com. I'm Chris Lappin. I'm delighted to be joined by Sunset Skip.
Coast to coast like butter and toast. Pan-Arabian Champion Sunset Skip. How are you, Chris?
Very well. Yeah, you do your own intro block letter.
I've done it a few times, you know. To take, you want to get yourself over, so you got to kind of say it sometimes yourself. I know my own shtick.
My co-host wants to congratulate you on your graphic in your pin tweet. He says it's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one that I really, really like that when I had that made. Yeah, that's something I really, really thought was quite cool. I did look into getting it on a t-shirt, but it would have cost a small fortune since it's so many colours. Yeah. But yeah, I think that graphic's really good for kind of adding the backstory to what Sunset Skip and who Sunset Skip is. So yeah, I really, really like that.
So you surviving lockdown well?
Yes, not bad at all. Yeah, it's but family and the day job are keeping me sane as well. So it's not too bad. So I think I'm fairly fortunate in that sense, where I've still got an awful lot to do. Yeah.
Are you working from home, or is it?
In and out. I'm in the real world. I'm a key worker, so I'm going in and out of work on like a rota and skeleton staff basis. So
cool. You've been binging any series you want to recommend to anyone?
Oh yeah, a few. Afterlife was amazing. That was kind of on everyone's recommendation. I've never watched something that 1 minute is having you absolutely cry with laughter, and then the next you're sobbing because it's just broken your heart. It goes from hilarious to heartbreaking in one scene to the next. I've never been a big Ricky Gervais fan, but this is just absolutely amazing. Just how it just kind of plays with your emotions and kind of gets you into I think because it is so kind of brutal in one scene, and then the next, it's like I said, it's hysterical. So it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, something I'd recommend to absolutely anyone. That's probably the best thing I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, it's on my list of things to watch.
Oh, definitely.
We just got Disney Plus, so we've watched tons of Disney and Pixar.
Yes,
kids entertained.
Yeah,
Mandalorian's really good.
I keep needing to see that. Yeah, I keep seeing that's on there, and that's on the list to watch.
It's only 8 minutes long, and between half an hour and 40 minutes each episode. So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll move that up the queue.
What about wrestling wise? We've been watching much.
Yeah. Always try and watch as much as I can. You know, the reason we're all into it is because we're fans. So, and what have I been watching? I watched. Somebody sent me a link of. You've probably seen the Twitter account of Rick Rude selling atomic drops. So that's kind of sent me down a ravishing Rick Rude wormhole. Not that I'd need any prompting to do so. Rick Rude is him and Ricky Steamboat from Beach Blast '92. Whenever I talk to anyone about wrestling, or is like, anyone I've kind of helped coach or train, or generally just talking about what's good. Beach Blast '92, Steamboat and Rude had a 30-minute Ironman match, and I've watched that match so many times. I could probably recite it bit for bit. It's just my absolute favourite. It's so good. Just two absolute masters. So, and Rick Rude. Funny enough, you see him selling the atomic drop and all the gifts that are going around on Twitter. He takes a big rib breaker from Ricky Steamboat about 35 seconds into the match, and he's just selling it like he's been absolutely murdered. And this is it's so good. Yeah, just I'd recommend anybody who wants to watch a good match, give yourself 30 minutes and just watch that, because you're not going to see much better than it ever.
Yeah, we've gone back and we've started watching Raw from the beginning. So
fantastic! Like, was it '93 it started?
Yeah, we're up to SummerSlam '94. So
wowza!
I think that is only 40 minutes long. We couldn't do it now. I'll watch every episode 3 hours, but
3 hours,
40 minutes long.
I was like, this year's WrestleMania. It was nicer that it was back in like 3 hour bite-sized chunks rather than a 7 hour war of attrition that it's been recently.
I could see if they kept it over 2 nights, they might slowly build it up, and each day will be like 5 or 6 hours long. You're like, no, I can't do that. Just keep it to 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I can see them doing it. They take over whatever city they're in for the entire weekend, and you know, if they do, I know they've got like the whole weekend of things. Perhaps if they can see them stretching it to a week, perhaps, you know, where they've got the takeover on a Friday, WrestleMania Part 1 Saturday, Part 2 Sunday, the Hall of Fame gets moved to a Thursday. They have whatever every night of the week between Monday and Sunday. Yeah, Raw on the Monday, and then the following Raw in the same city as the WrestleMania. But I don't know. I could see that happening. I think a lot of people would be quite happy for it, and it would give the same value for money, but just be less arduous to watch.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm guessing this time off is kind of a blessing in disguise, give you time to rest your body, then niggling injuries, and then even like evaluate what's gone well this year, what hasn't gone so well, make little tweaks to your character and stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always kind of good to do that, and I've always had like loads of different things on the back burner. It could be like little videos that I'm making, or little highlight packages, or different promo ideas, and I've had them kind of half finished, or you know, in concept. I've got a notebook in my kit bag which is just full of different ideas. So I've got quite a few things like in the pipeline that I've like half finished, or I'm waiting for a little bit of footage to come in now. Whereas before I was like, oh, I really wish I had time to do this, that, and the other, because I'm not particularly au fait with like editing or anything like that. So I've kind of treated myself to a new laptop because I needed one to work from home. So I thought, I'll see if I can like learn to edit stuff. So I've started to get a few kind of very, very basic things kind of produced. So it's fun because I'm kind of putting, like I said, some of the stuff that I wish to have that kind of adds to the character a lot more, rather than just, oh look, here's a gift from a match, which, you know, I could quickly knock up in 5 minutes. Now I can like, oh look, here's a promo which explains this. Here's something else which kind of adds a bit more to that. So yeah, I've got some fun stuff that I've, you know, actually had time to make, or start to make, or, you know, get off the ground, rather than just like, oh, I really wish I had time to do that. Now I have, you know, a lot more time than I ever had.
Alright, so let's start at the beginning. So who your favourite wrestler growing up? Just give away your age now. So.
Oh yeah, I'm going to give away my age an awful lot. My favourite growing up, I mean, it varied. Like, I was a huge Hulkamaniac when I was little, and then as I got more into it, like the guy that kind of drew me into wrestling was Brian Pillman. I'd seen wrestling. Yeah, I'd seen wrestling before, and I'd been aware of it, and I've got such a vivid memory of my first time I watched wrestling. I went, this is awesome. And it was Pillman and Liger from, I want to say, Super Brawl 92. And they were just, you know, two pioneering high flyers, just flipping and flopping and all this amazing stuff. It's saying flipping and flopping like it's kind of a derogatory thing. It's not. It's, you know, the state-of-the-art high flying stuff. Whereas before I'd seen like the tail end of World of Sport, and I'd seen the WWF style, you know, which was, you know, very much your big guys kind of having that kind of slugging it out WWF style. And then Pillman and Liger doing this stuff, which is just completely alien to anything I'd seen, and it was still this wrestling stuff that I was starting to get the bug for. So yeah, Pillman was somebody that just stood out to me from then on in.
Yeah, I had similar, but I was with Macho Man.
I
was much more of a fan of the smaller guys than I was the big brutes knocking the hell out of each other.
I see. As much as kind of Pillman was like the guy that kind of drew me in, it was the characters kind of, once like the likes of Pillman made me go, wow, this is amazing. The characters kind of, you know, had me hook, line, and sinker, because, like I said, I was a huge Hogan fan, huge Warrior fan, and you know, they Piper and Macho Man as well. You know, these guys who are just larger than life, like part superhero, part kind of who knows what. Like for me, at, you know, what was I, like 9, 10 when I first started seeing all of this sort of stuff. So I was completely blown away by all of it, really. And it was just, you know, started out with just the athleticism, and then the characters kind of pulled me in.
Phil, so what actually prompted you to don the tights and get into the ring?
I'd always liked physical sports. I played rugby I wouldn't say at much of a level, but I enjoyed rugby when I was a kid. I did martial arts for a long, long time. I did variations of karate and taekwondo and all sorts of stuff. So I just think, I've been a wrestling fan since I was 9, 10, and then I think it was about 19. I thought, let's give this a crack. I just kind of stopped doing a taekwondo and thought, let's give this a whirl. Let's go for something new.
Yeah, definitely. So was Brian Pillman or Hulk Hogan who you wanted to like mold your style around when you started training?
No, it was like around that sort of time. Around that sort of time, this would be early 2000s. Guys like
okay.
like Chris. I wanted Chris Jericho when I first started out. I had some early matches on the holiday camps where I was announced as Rich Jericho because I had like the Jericho style tights and the kick pads, and I was very unashamedly a huge nod to Chris Jericho when I first kind of started out. But yeah, that was like what kind of it molded the style. And I've always been like a bigger guy. I'm like 6'3" and way too much. I'm about 280 in a minute. But even when I started, I was obviously 6'3" and about 220. So I was a lot bigger than others. So I was still kind of implementing a bit more power stuff. I wanted to do moonsaults and whatnot, but I never had the coordination. So I just, gave people stalling suplexes and brain busters and power bombs, and stuck with the big guy stuff.
Cool. Take us back to your first match. What do you remember about it in hindsight?
Oh, it was appalling.
Was it any good? Did you enjoy it? Have you gone back and watched it? Or?
Oh, it's fairly infamous in circles. It was appalling. It was from one of the big bits for All Star Wrestling. I was wrestling on the name of Rich and Famous then. I wrestled as Rich and Famous from like 2003 to 2017, and it was awful. It was absolutely dreadful. It was. I don't know. I just kind of. I think I was too eager. Didn't really know what I was doing just yet. Didn't kind of have any clue, and I just got kind of eaten up and spat out. So it was a huge learning process, but didn't kind of deter me. I just knew that I had to improve and kind of do so as quickly as I could. So it was really kind of time to sort myself out from on in. So it was just a case of, okay, you've got a lot of work to do, so kind of get to it.
How's the characters evolved from, like you said, you're Rich Jericho, moved into Rich and Famous to Sunset Skip? So
I think it's kind of progressed with time as well, because like a lot of the early stuff when I wrestled as Rich and Famous, it was like around the Paris Hilton It Girl sort of era, the early 2000s. So that was very much the kind of the mold that I was looking at, and then that kind of progressed as I got older, and then I started working more primarily as a good guy. I just found that it worked better with the style I worked. I enjoyed it more, and I got more bookings that way from it. And I kind of went from being just this obnoxious, bratty knob, basically, to just kind of becoming a bit of a straight out hero style wrestler, which I did for the vast majority from, I'd say, about 2007, 2017. Probably 2007 to 2015 I was doing that, and then I moved over to the Middle East for a few years, and then came back and wanted to kind of change things up. So did the Sunset Skip thing, where I was kind of more homage to what I grew up watching, the Hulk Hogan, the Dusty Rhodes, and stuff like that.
I was going to ask if Sunset Skip was kind of like a homage to the larger than life 80s colourful costume style. So yeah, absolutely,
I mean, that's like I said, I got hooked by the Brian Pillman kind of the state of the art guys, but it was the Hogans and the Pipers and the Warriors and Big Boss Mans who kind of just they were the ones who I was just absolutely mad for when I was watching it as a kid. I got hooked by different things, but they were the ones that kept the interest going. And this is as I'm getting a bit older, it's me kind of paying, like I said, a bit of homage to what I grew up and loved watching when I grew up.
So is the Pan-Arabian title a physical title, or is it
No, it's a physical title that I try and defend as much as possible. I think the last one was January last year against Sly Gregory. We had a little mini series of matches that culminated in a Texas death match, and I won it back. Yes. It's something where I do want to kind of get it to be more active and more kind of essential to, not necessarily essential, just kind of a bigger part of the wider character. But so many promotions have got so many championships. You know, you can see why some people are a bit reluctant to have yet another title match that's not of their brand on their show. So it is something that I do enjoy. I mean, it's very much kind of modelled on Larry Sweeney's Texarkana Championship from back in the day as well. So that's again the inspiration I got from that. I thought that's a fun little thing to kind of chuck into the character, I suppose.
So if you did the 80s gimmick, you could do lots of like time limit draws, so you never lose it, and dusty finishes, and it's like
absolutely. And I'm super keen. I've kind of invested in a few props for gimmick matches. I had a guy who's just coming through at UBW. He works on the name Jimbo. He made a like leather strap for like Caribbean strap matches, and I've got like a coal miner's glove, which, you know, like a leather glove with like metal plates on it. So I want to kind of resurrect some of the more forgotten gimmick matches that has Sunset Skip, because I think it's something new, something that will make myself and the character stand out. So hopefully it'll be something that I'll kind of get a few more of as once we're kind of post Corona.
That sounds amazing. Sounds like a lot of fun. I do want to make my way down to the UBW events, but
yeah, there's so many like strong characters there, and even coming through the Square One Academy, that Hugo Bloom, he is really kind of putting a lot of work into producing. I myself and a guy by the name of Cruz, we were the guys who set up the initial UBW Academy back in 2011, and then I think about 2012-ish. Ash came on board. Ash was one of the guys that trained me back in the day. And then it's just kind of grown and grown from there. And there's some really, really talented guys come through there. Crowley, for example, is a really, really talented guy.
Yes.
Who else? Some of the main, most of the UVW roster have come through there. Ricky Calvé is super talented as well, and Spike Valentine. Those two guys, I think if we didn't kind of go into lockdown, they're two, Ricky Calvé and Spike Valentine especially too. I just think they just need that little bit of opportunity to really kind of break through, because they're both super talented guys, super cool guys as well. So,
yo, this is the Nightmare Fuel Hustle Malone, and you're listening to Broken but Glorious.
Some of your wrestling friends and fans have sent some questions.
Wonderful.
So Kyle Kingsley
brilliant.
wants me to ask you, where were you found?
Where was I found? Well, somewhere between the Middle East and England. It all depends, like where you look for the crash landing site. That's where Sunset Skip was found, but maybe even a little bit of the southern United States, brother.
Oh, so you had a find sunset skip hashtag go around for a while.
Yes, yeah, I've still kind of done it, because the initial way I tried to kind of do the character, I got quite a few wrestlers and different guys and girls to do like a little tall tale of Sunset Skip, like an urban legend sort of thing.
Yes.
You know, I wanted it to be like the Paul Bunyan, the Chuck Norris fact of wrestling. So, and there's been some good ones, and that was the original video. And that's, I was saying earlier about different things. That's something I'm compiling and editing some of the newer ones as well now, from kind of different guys on the scene. As the first wave, it was different people, and they've left wrestling and whatnot. So, so that's going to be something I'm going to put out in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Just waiting for get a couple more that I'm waiting on. So there'll be some good ones to kind of put out for like the Sunset Skip urban legends.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember some of them. So they've got like you beat Hulk Hogan and Bockwinkel in a triple threat.
That's it.
You've held one more or one less NWA championship than Ric Flair.
One less, yeah. What was it? Another good one was wrestled on all 6 continents. What was it? Oh crikey, there was
so something about Vince Von Erich as well. Was it?
That's it. Yeah, I think I was the only person to outdraw the Von Erichs in Texas.
Haley Roberts asks, What indie company would you like to wrestle for, or if you has already, what is your favourite?
Crikey! Oh man, there's so many. I'd wrestle absolutely anywhere, but I've absolutely loved appearing for Good Wrestling. I think the whole vibe there fits the Sunset Skip character there as well, especially the kind of more drug-addled 80s Michael Hayes Freebird elements of the character.
Yes,
that really worked well. There was a bit where I had cocaine in the bag, so I had some very talented guys in the ring with me. It was Kyle Fletcher, Spike Trevay, a few others. Owen Charles and CJ Carter is the greatest Scrambo match, and Big Skip needed a little pick me up, so pulled some suspicious white powder out of the fanny pack, and Trevay took it, made the mistake of lobbing a big handful in Skip's face, and then everyone got served up some bionic elbows. So good. I kind of go on a tangent there, but good somewhere that I absolutely love, and then Attack Wrestling, I absolutely love their product as well. And then it's just kind of continuing in UBW and Sacrifice, where I'm kind of, as regular as possible there. So it's, anywhere that will have me, and just enjoying where I am as well. It's, enjoy the ride and see where it takes me.
Cool. You'll have to make your way to my local promotions of Wrestle Island.
Yes, I'd love to. Yeah, I know Warren Banks and Hustle and guys like that head up there quite a lot, and they're super talented guys. So it'd be great to kind of head up there and do some stuff with them. I've been lucky enough to have a few matches with Warren Banks, who's just so good, and Hustle's incredible as well. Just such a creative mind and stuff.
Warren Banks. Oh yeah, I interviewed him the other week. He was such a funny person to talk to. So interesting. And then Warren Banks is one of the current number one contenders. They've got about 4.
Oh, brilliant!
He won the Rumble.
Yeah, no, he
beat Lucas Steele for the championship, and then got cashed in on straight away by Dan Evans.
Nice.
So he held the championship for about 2 minutes.
Oh, no way! Yeah. Always kind of that thing. Just I remember actually on something like that years ago. I think it was in ECW's dying days. Tommy Dreamer had been obviously been a huge mainstay in ECW, but had never held the belt. And I think he beat Raven for it. And then straight after, Just Incredible goaded Tommy Dreamer into defending the belt. And I think what was really cool about that angle was that Dreamer never physically held the belt, which I just think was, the ultimate kind of heartbreak for a good guy who'd been chasing to kind of have, your beat one of your nemesis only to have your next one kind of screw you out of it. I think that was absolutely brilliant. I think because it was in the dying days of ECW, I think it's something that didn't quite get as much kind of precedence.
It was literally, I'm sure it was like the 20th anniversary of that recently in the last week or two. So it was literally the death of it.
You're probably right, actually. Yeah, crikey, it's 2020. That's depressing. Yeah, but that's something that I'm amazed more indie promotions and even the bigger ones haven't done that. But I suppose it's very difficult to build it because Dreamer and Raven at that point had 5-6 years of them kind of love-hate relationship built up, whatever. And Just Incredible had been a thorn in Tommy Dreamer's side in terms of, what they were putting out for about 3 years as well. So it's, real kind of long, and probably a lot of it came about from circumstances because you're like, right, who have we got? What do we need to do? But it was a little promotional tactic that I just thought was amazing. And I'd love to see, and so many other promotions could use it so well because it's just a shitbag thing for any heel to do.
Yes, definitely. She also asks, will you ever stop wearing Fringe?
Well, never. Even on my days off, everything is just tassels, Fringe, and animal print all the way through. You can never have too much animal print in your wardrobe.
As she said, because I love it.
Yeah, I know.
So
everyone loves
to stay forever.
No, never ever going away from the Fringe.
Jeffro Roos.
Yes, good.
Says, hey, I've got some questions for Big Skip. So what?
I dread to think what they are.
What is the stupidest thing you've ever seen in wrestling?
Oh, so many things. This is an opportunity to really kind of potentially get myself in trouble, but I don't know. People not wearing Not wearing tassels. That's probably the stupidest thing. Everyone should wear tassels. Going back to Haley's question, if you're not wearing tassels, you're not trying hard enough. So I think I need tassels on my boots. So I think the stupid thing is not wearing tassels. I'll say that there because it's quite a diplomatic answer.
Who is the most over-pushed wrestler in the scene today?
Some would say Sunset Skip because he's had the Pan Arabian Championship for about 35 years. I think he originally beat one of the sheiks. I think it was Sheikh Rashid in Saudi Arabia I think 35 years ago. So that'll be 65 in Riyadh. There was a huge crowd of about 97,000. And that was just what was turned away. I think it went into 5 digits in the arena. So the Sunset Skip's the most overpushed wrestler.
And your favourite lie you've ever told a promoter? Favourite lie.
Oh, favourite lie I've ever told, or favourite lie promoters ever told me.
Favourite lie told. It's favourite lie told to you by promoter. Sorry,
I missed checks in the post. I'll get you next time. You'll definitely get the belt. Or they're all my favourites. They're all ones I've heard quite a lot. But I don't know, like flip it on its head. Favourite lie I've told a promoter: I'm 5 minutes away when I'm not. I'll be on time when I won't be. No, I'm pretty reliable.
Hustle Malone. If you could choose 3 Brit wrestling opponents for the Sunset Skip retirement tour, who would you pick?
Oh, 3 for the retirement tour. Oh man, that's tough. I'd say one that I've always wanted to wrestle because he is the best heavyweight in Europe is Rampage Brown.
Yes.
Yeah, but bar none. And there are some incredible heavyweight wrestlers in the country. Lucas Steele, Yeston Reese, Shaw Samuels, but I just think Rampage is and has been so incredible for the longest time. And he's somebody who deserves to have been a huge star and is just, an incredible talent. Rampage would be kind of up there. It's tough as well because there's so many people that you look at and you think, God damn, you're so good, and I'd be able to kind of. You think, what would I be able to kind of bring to a match with you? What would I gain from you and stuff like that? I mean, another guy that I love watching is Dan Maloney. Physical, ass kicking, just such a good wrestler. For me watching wrestling, he's the sort of guy where nowadays I'm like, I am hook, line, and sinker into what you're doing. I believe everything you're doing. Similar sort of thing to Rampage, really. It's almost like he's the younger version of Rampage, like building his legacy, if you want to say. Mm-hmm. And then, oh God, could I not give 303 instead of just 3? But I mean, just quick ones off the top of my head. Warren Banks again, Hustle Malone again. CJ Carter's another one. He's absolutely awesome. CJ's so good. Kingsley's amazing as well. So many different guys that I look around the scene and I think I'd love to do stuff with you. Federale Santos as well from the Anti-Fun Police, or he's just been kicked out. So yes. I think, I could go on forever. There's so many. Basically, I'll take on anyone. It's an open challenge, open invitation for the Pan Arabian Championship. If they want it, they can, name a time and a place, and I'll turn up in tassels.
Mr. Charles Crowley says, "You've been going for years. What's next for you?"
What's next? Let's keep going. I hope it's I've both. I think this kind of rest's given me a bit of time to kind of get in better shape because I have, getting a bit older. I'm kind of few nagging injuries like we mentioned earlier on. So it's just rest and getting fitter, and then kind of having that last hurrah. Like Hustle said, it was almost going into is it the retirement tour? Or is it just kind of the next phase? So it's just keeping going, keep moving on, keep going coast to coast like butter and toast.
So what were some of the things you had planned before lockdown came in?
I had, I don't know if I can say too much, but I had some fun bookings planned. There was a new promotion opening up where they wanted me to be the host. I was really, really looking forward to. That's been pushed back. So hopefully if and as and when they're doing that, the guy running it's a super, super cool guy. And he came to me and said, I really, really would love to have host with your kind of dynamicness and presence. And Jerry Bakewell was too expensive, so how much would you do it for? So, that was something I'm really, really looking forward to doing. So hopefully and I know that'll be up and running again. But it was just kind of, there was some fun stuff kind of happening, and I'll always kind of approach everything with as much enjoyment as possible, because we all go into this because we're fans. We all go into it because we love it. So it doesn't matter what the match is or where it is. I'll enjoy it, and hopefully, even now I'll learn something from it or can pass something on to a newer wrestler. So in terms of what was coming up, it was just kind of more of the same, ticking on, and that's kind of what I'm looking to do moving forwards.
Cool. He says, have you ever considered mixing things up and joining Charles Crowley's Carnival?
Always. Sunset Skip's kind of crossed the dark side a few times, and as long as I can still wear tassels, I'd be more than happy to join the Carnival. I think it'd be quite good. He's got some lost souls there, and maybe he could have a bit of a Hoss enforcer behind him, kind of keeping those lost souls in order. Who knows? That'll be something for Mr. Crowley and I to discuss at a future date.
Amazing. I like the video of you pile driving him. Put up on Twitter today.
That, again, like I was saying, that's something I'm kind of. I used to love watching about 10, 15 years ago. The top 10 moves of at the time it was everyone who was hot on the independents. So Super Dragon, Paul London, and Loki, and guys like that. So I've made the top 10 moves of Sunset Skip. So I had it all kind of partitioned into 8-second long clips, because no one wants to watch anything that's longer than 2 minutes. So it was like, right, let's get a 2-minute kind of video knocked up and ready. Yeah, I mean, we've got no attention span these days. So that's ready in the can to be put out on Sunday. Because I was thinking I'll do 10 moves on the 10th. That seems, I don't know, in my head it seemed to make a bit of sense. 10 on 10.
I'm the Breaker, Kyle Kingsley, and you're listening to Broken but Glorious.
I've got my last question. So,
yes, please.
If you're a promoter for a day, promoting a show which I've called Coast to Coast, using wrestlers you've either worked with, trained with, wrestlers are associated to you in some way. If I give you a match name, you tell me which wrestlers will be in it, and if you want to tell
absolutely
little stories behind each wrestler, if you want. So,
definitely.
So who would be in your opening contest to get the crowd excited?
Johnny Storm and RJ Singh.
Oh yes,
two incredible guys, two of the best in the country. Johnny, even now after 20 plus years, is still amazing. RJ's on that level as well. He's so good. RJ's just always missed that opportunity. He had the TNA thing, and then that didn't quite pan out. And RJ's an amazing guy. He's a good friend out of the ring as well. And Johnny Storm's Johnny Storm. He's it's to me, it's criminal that he doesn't have a full-time contract in AEW or NXT UK, because there's so much. He and Jody, there's so much both of them could add to it. So actually, I've changed the opener to Johnny Storm, Jody Fleisch, and RJ Singh. That would be the opening contest. 3 of the best in the country, 3 of the best cruiserweight style wrestlers in the country, and if that doesn't get a crowd up, then the crowd can all go home, and everyone who enjoys wrestling can stay.
I saw Johnny Storm and Jody Fleisch versus LAX.
Amazing! Is that the Ring of Honor?
Impact.
Impact.
It was Impact versus Brit Rest at the Wrestle Media Con in Manchester.
Okay. Was that
amazing?
2-3 years?
I have no idea. Yeah, 2018.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Johnny and Jody have been the standard bearers for British wrestling for 20 years, and they're not slowing down. They're getting better with time. I mean, I've said it to people when I've been even in the car with Johnny and on backstage with guys like Johnny Storm and Jody Fleisch in third gear are still better than 95% of people in top gear. It's amazing. They are just so good, and like I said, RJ Singh is in that bracket too.
There's a lot of the British guys that night, and I was like, how you Impact not signing them? Just based on this performance.
Absolutely.
Alana Austin was against Sue Young as well. That was a brilliant match.
Oh, fantastic! Alana's got an incredible kind of image, and she's brilliant too as well.
It was Jimmy Havoc versus Sammy Callahan in a death match, and it was like,
oh yeah,
you see where Jimmy Havoc is now on AEW. Impact would have had him 2 years ago. So.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
What about your comedy match?
Oh, G Money's the first one that kind of pops into mind straight away. Yes. He's like, a comedy match is one of the hardest things I think to do, because I think there's very few wrestlers that do comedy well and don't stray into idiot. And
yes,
like they make an idiot of themselves, the match, whatever. Because you've still got to be not, this hard ass, tough guy, because you are the comedy match. But looking at guys who've done it so well, like Santino and Colt Cabana, they are wrestlers, but they are comedic wrestlers. It's not, I don't know, I think it's almost like the order is wrestler, then comedy, rather than a lot of people go comedy without a punchline, because it needs to have a punchline or it needs to have something. And G Money nails that. He's so good.
Do you know why he wears tape over his nipples? It's just funny.
I hear that they are super, super sensitive, whereas Sunset Skip's nipples can cut diamonds. I hear that G Money's nipples they're the weakest part of his body. So much like other wrestlers tape their wrists, to make sure they kind of keep everything strong. I think it's keep the nipples as strong as possible. That's just a rumor I've heard, though.
Yeah, I've asked a couple of people that, and nobody's knew the answer. So.
Yeah, no, that's just what I've seen. When I've seen him warming up, you see him kind of very gingerly put the tape over his nipples, and then he's ready to go straight after. But in terms of opponent, I'd say like Santos, Federale Santos is again another incredible character wrestler. I'd say Anti-Fun Police and G Money. I don't know. He does like he's part of the Anti-Fun Police, and obviously Session Moth Martinez, and another incredible comedy / character wrestler. So
yes,
that would be kind of the one that will pop into my head for the comedy match.
But your women's title match?
Oh God, it's another tough one because there's so many incredible, talented girls out there. Bobby Tyler's one who pops into mind straight away. She's incredible with all of the stuff in Japan. She started out training at the UW school under myself, Ash and Cruz, back in the day as well. I can't take any credit for how good she's got, though. We taught her the very basics, and then she went out there and absolutely killed it. So she's awesome. And then, God, like you said, Lana Austin's super good as well. There's kind of girls bubbling under who are amazing as well. Jade's awesome. There's I'm trying to think. Giselle Shaw, she's super incredible. I've seen her at Good, and saw her match at Rev Pro, I think, with is it Aaliyah James? She's another one who's incredible. So yeah, crikey, just a big kind of multi-girl incredible scramble match, and it's tough to kind of nail it down if it needs to be a singles match, because there's I mean, I remember when I started out, it was the women's wrestling was very much there weren't very many that were any good. It was probably Sweet Soraya and a couple of others. Yes. Soraya was, and still, I mean, she's how could I forget her in that list as well? She was amazing then, still is incredible now. Just she brings a real kind of raw, gritty, just intensity to everything. She's so good. But yeah, it's come on leaps and bounds. Where even looking at WWE as well, the fact that someone like Charlotte Flair to me is in the same bracket as AJ Styles, whereas before people would have thought women's wrestling was not as good, whereas now it's they are just as good. Women, I said it sounds like a derogatory term, but women's wrestling is as good as men's wrestling. There's no argument against it. For, like I said, for the best in the world, you've got an AJ Styles and you've got a Charlotte Flair, and they are neck and neck in terms of a whole kind of package and talent and everything. So that's incredible.
That's even in the last 4 years. I've been following British wrestling quite a lot. They used to have the token women's match in the middle of the card.
That's it.
Usually a multi-women affair, but now the headline.
Yeah, and
for the men belts.
That's it. Millie McKenzie as well, not Charlie Evans. At a good show a while back, Charlie Evans and Chris Brooks had a fucking incredible death match. It's the fact that it's as I'm thinking, it's as hard for me to think of women's wrestlers who are as incredible, because there's so many as it is like the male wrestlers, and they are going back to like a British wrestling kind of bracket, you know, you've got somebody as amazing as Chris Brooks. You've got a Charlie Evans who's on that sort of level. Like again, at Good, I saw. I think it was one of the first shows after I moved back to England. It was Ricky Shane Page against Millie McKenzie, and that match was absolutely bloody amazing. Like Ricky Shane Page is so good as well, and Millie McKenzie. That was the first time I'd seen her. I was just absolutely blown away by that match. Just brilliant, like the story and how it kind of, because Millie's got her whole suplex deal, and then, you know, obviously Ricky's the big kind of cocky bastard heel, and then he got kind of chopped down, and it was so good. You know, there was probably not many male wrestlers in like Millie's size and weight category could do it as well as she did. So yeah, amazing.
But what about a hardcore Extreme Rules type match?
Can I take guys who are under contract, or is it just free agents?
Anybody you've worked with or trained with?
I mean, I've been on. Oh God, that's tough. I think like the first two that pop into mind would be Ricky Shane Page and Jimmy Havoc.
Wow.
The only time I ever had any interaction in ring with Jimmy, this is I think about 12, 13 years ago. We were wrestling in a show in a field. And
yes,
as you know, we're British wrestling staples in the mid to late 2000s, and I've had like a you know training seminar with Ricky Shane Page, so I'll kind of claim that as my interactions with them both. But yeah, that match would be absolutely incredible in terms of, you know, just
more of a death match.
yeah, why not go big or go home? Don't mess around with just kind of if you're gonna do it properly and have two of the best do it as well.
Your tag team title match.
God. Anti-Fun Police, they're incredible always. God. Bone Brothers, they're two guys that are really kind of coming through now. I think there'll be big things for them in the next year or two. They've got amazing looks, and their stuff's just getting crisper and crisper and crisper, and they're working super hard under Mike Bird's training, and Mike's an awesome guy. God, who would be the tag match? If I didn't have RJ in the opener, it'd be probably Banker Knights, and Bone Brothers would be something that'd be quite fun. Yeah, that's the first thing that pops into mind.
Take RJ out the front and start with Jody versus.
Yeah, Jody versus Johnny, and then everyone's got to follow that. I like the
other. Then you've got your main title, the main title of the promotion. Main event.
I don't know. I wouldn't be that guy and put myself in the title match. I'd be quite happy kind of directing traffic.
Yeah.
But God, I mean, in terms of top guys that I think that I've seen and kind of been around, I know CJ Carter's so good as well. He'd be somebody where he could either kind of sub in and out of the super, you know, cruiserweight match, or he'd be somebody that I know who could deliver in a main event match. Charles Crowley's another one. Hustle Malone, Warren Banks. But one match that I think would be real good would be Charles Crowley and Cara Noir. Would be something I don't think anyone's done yet. And just knowing how big the characters are and how theatrical the build-up could be, I think that would be a great kind of main event matchup.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I was one of them people I hope WWE don't sign anytime soon, because I'd love his work in progress.
Yeah, I don't see him going there just yet. I think he's just. Yeah, I think this act is almost too strong, and it's not an act that a WWE audience would take to straight away. So I think it needs that chance to kind of. I mean, it's so good. You know, he's somebody that I genuinely enjoy watching. So I think Cara Noir and Crowley would be my main marquee match, and it'd be a hell of a match, hell of a show, I think. So
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'll book that, and I'll I don't know. I'll hopefully make a lot of money on that as well, and then when it comes to show 2, I'll think what else I can do.
So this is where I'd usually ask where can people see you in the near future? So, have you got anything planned for your fans? You said you've got your top 10 coming out on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm putting out like different videos on the Sunset Skip Facebook page and Twitter and Instagram. I'm trying to be a lot more proactive on social media. All of my social media tags are at findsunsetskip. And on a Thursday night, I do a wrestling quiz on Facebook Live as well. So that's probably the first place that people can see me. But otherwise it is just kind of have a look at the social media and see what I'm kind of putting out, and hopefully it'll be stuff that kind of tickles people's fancy and people's interest. I've seen so many people putting good stuff out at the minute. Rocky Mack in particular, he's putting out the one question with. So it's just, I think it's tough for people to put out good content. So I'm just hoping to put out as much as I can and hoping that some of it sticks to the wall, so to speak.
Right, I'll put all the links in the description to all your social media. So
yes.
What time's your quiz on? Sorry.
No, sorry. It's 8:15 on a Thursday night.
So after the clap.
That's it. After the clap. Yeah, I did initially do it at 7:45, and then I realised that I was kind of going over the clap, something that was a bit more important than me asking questions about Hulk Hogan. So.
Anything else you want to promote?
There's one other thing. Like with UBW, we do a lot of work with a charity called Spectrum, who work for children with things like autistic, who are on the autistic spectrum and various other needs. So just give a little shout out to spectrum.org.uk, who we're doing a lot of work for at the minute. We're kind of supporting a lot of their vulnerable young people at the minute through work myself, UBW, and then of course Justin and Alex, who are the two main guys in Spectrum. So give a shout out to them and people to visit them. And if you have got kind of a few pennies at the minute, if you can just kind of give a donation to them, because it's an incredible cause run by amazing people. So
amazing! I'll put a link to them in the description as well.
That'd be amazing. Thank you for that. Yeah, much appreciated.
All right, cool. So I've really enjoyed speaking today. I'd love to have you on again in the future when everything's back to normal.
Yes, 100%. I'll actually have a little bit more to kind of talk about as well, and hopefully I'll put on that incredible card, and I can tell you how great it went and how we're kind of booking out Wembley Arena the week after. But we can but dream.